Hello, friends. Father Jonathan here. Merry almost Christmas. I pray this finds you well. I wanted to take a moment before we get to Christmas, as we walk up the last couple of steps till we get there, to reflect on a part of our worship that you already know, but may not have connected to Christmas before. Bear with me. You'll know the Eucharist, the bread and the cup, the table set in the assembly as we're all gathered. Right before that, the peace of the Lord be always with you. Then the offertory, and music is sung. Usually piano is played or organ. Plates are passed. We prepare to lift up our hearts. And during that time, Deacon Phil is setting the table. He's putting the chalice out. He's setting this and that there. He takes wine, he pours it in the cup. He takes water and he lifts it up, and the priest will bless the water. And this is the kind of zoom in moment I want you to notice. We'll zoom in and the priest will say something like these words: "Bless, O Lord, this water by its mingling with wine, that we may remember your Son poured out for us, that we might live with you." We might remember your Son poured out for us, that we might be made like God. That's an almost invisible moment in our liturgy every time we do the Eucharist. But it's kind of like a tiny Christmas. It's exactly what we remember at Christmas, when we remember that God became like us, a babe born to Mary and Joseph, so that we might be made like God. And in the tradition, the wine represents the divinity of God. The water represents the humanity. And someone said one time, you drop that water in the wine and there's no unwinding it again. In other words, the two belong to each other. God is locked in love with us forever. And that is the good news we remember and celebrate at Christmas. I wanted to share real quick a little bit of an echo of those words and that sentiment. This is from a sermon of Gregory of Nazianzus. He was a bishop of Constantinople in the year 389. And listen to what he says and see if you can hear the echo. "Light from light, the word of the Father comes to his own image in the human race. For the sake of my flesh, he takes flesh. For the sake of my soul, he is united to a rational soul, purifying like by like. In every way, he becomes human, except for sin. O strange conjunction, the self-existent comes into being, the uncreated is created. He shares in the poverty of my flesh, that I may share in the riches of his Godhead." Every gift we give in this season is an echo, an imitation of this pouring out, is a thanksgiving, is a celebration, is a participation. We find ourselves kneeling by the side of the manger, adoring the child, for the one poured out for us, that we might be made like God, not just on our own, but together, made sisters and brothers, children of the living God. Bless you, friends. Have a Merry Christmas. We pray those of you in the area will join us. Christmas Eve services at 4:00. That's the children's pageant and Eucharist. 7:00, the lessons and carols and Eucharist. 10:00, the closest thing we do to a midnight mass with music, incense, solemn Eucharist. Wherever this finds you, I pray you have a wonderful Christmas, and that God's blessing, joy, consolation, and challenge would be made known to you as life in his Son. Peace.